Alright, so this is the next video for the alphabet letter O breaking. So this is where I left off last time. Here I'm just gonna start to go over constraints and what they are. So from here, make sure it's rigging, and under constraint you're gonna want the parent constraint. I already have it here. I have it as the option box. Alright, so again, and this guy right here, parent constraint options, reset, so everything's default. Make sure this is checked on, maintain offset, blah 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 blah. Okay, now the whole point is that we have two systems going on. Get this out of my way. You have the joint system, right? All named, but we need something to be able to manipulate the joints, you know, because you don't want to just go in and just grab the joint and start pushing and pulling, especially because they will have some data in here, like the translate, which was when placing it, you know, like here, you know, or like here. So you just need to have the controllers, because the controllers, animation controllers, which is here, they will be interconnected via something called constraints to their corresponding bone. Hence the constraints, parent constraint, which the parent constraint, what it does is, meaning that the controllers will be able to move, and the controllers will be able to rotate the bones. So what I'm going to do is, with the outliner like this, make sure the outliner is open. You'll see this part here. You want to click on it and pull. That way you can see the upper version. And down here, if you want, I can also see the lower version. All of that down here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just start from the top, and we're going to go down. So there's a selection order to this. You grab, always first you grab the animation controller, like this one right here. See? It has to make sure that there's no data in here. You grab the animation controller and you shift select the corresponding bone, which is this bop, and which is here. When you select, you'll know that you selected the right one, meaning you did the selection order correct. When you look in the channel box, what you should only see is the joint. If you end up selecting, for example, the joint and then the controller after, this you don't want. You don't want to be grabbing the controller after. And you'll see furthermore, I grab the controller, I shift select the bone, the corresponding bone, and the corresponding bone has this information, which is the skinning that was done the last time. I'm going to go up into the parent constraint, all of this, hit apply. When that happens, this gets chucked in there It's a parent constraint, which means that this bone, right, as you can see here, the bone is now blue. When you see the bone with blue, it means that it's being commandeered, constrained by something else, which would be the controller, which this controller is the right rib 7, right, meaning rib set number 7, and controller 3. This is bone joint 3. This is controller 3. Yada yada yada. So what happens that if I freaking pull on this, see what happens? I can rotate it. Whee! But it will always be clean. See? The controller. Not the bone, controller. It looks like you're selecting the bone, but you're not. There. Next, grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone. This is controller rib 7, controller 2. Shift select the bone. That's rib 7, joint number 2. You go into the parent constraint options, apply. And you'll see that the rib 7 joint 2 is blue, meaning that it's been commandeered and applied a constraint to this controller. So now, and now pull. There you go. See? That's what that is. Grab this controller, shift select the corresponding bone, go into the parent constraint, apply. I can test it out. Grab this, and this. I can pull like that. Next, I grab this spine, right? But you notice the spine, this bone is not following the spine controller. So, get out of my way. Grab the controller, shift select its corresponding bone, bing, and parent constraint, pop. Now when I grab this, see? But that does not mean, just because you see these guys moving, it does not mean that they're good to go. Because if I grab this controller, it does absolutely nothing at all. So you gotta go back in here, grab this controller, shift select the bone, the corresponding bone, click onto the parent constraint. Parent constraint is skeleton, no, constraint, parent, right? Apply. Same thing. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, grab the parent constraint, add blue, joint blue. Grab this, shift select its corresponding bone, add. Now if I test it out, grab this, shift select that, grab this, I can grab this, grab that, grab this, or grab this, and this, shift select this, and this, but not grab the spine and this. like that. So that one was good. You can always double check by selecting the bone, and only the bones should have any color, but never have color on the controllers. Alright, 10 minutes. I'm gonna move along now. And we got I'm gonna just pull this down. Alright, this guy right here. Yep, this one's not done yet. I'm going to save this out. I'm gonna type in parent constraint like that. Okay, good. So from here, always have your outliner open, always have your channel box open. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, go into the parent constraint options, hit add. Test it out, check. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Test it out. Oops, no, grab this, grab the controller. Test out the controller, good. Test out the controller, good. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Test out the controller, good. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Good. Test it out, grab this, controllers, not the bones, check, good. Okay. Alt and B as in Bob. I'm going to change the background. Okay. I'll just leave it black. Alright. Alright, I'm grabbing the bones and I can see it's blue, so that means I know it's constrained. This side? Yeah, this side I did not. See? This one? I did. I'm gonna start on this end. Wait, did I do it for this one? No, I did not. The spine joint 4. So I grabbed the spine controller 4, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this, I'm gonna go from the outside in. This one, no color on the bone. Grab the controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. This controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. This controller, shift select its corresponding bone. As you can see, the bone, J and T, no color, parent constraint, add. Now the bone has color because it says J and T. Then finally, select this spine control 4, shift select its corresponding bone. Oh, I already have that. Okay, never mind. Don't do that. See, that's how you figure out and double check. Hence the reason why you need the channel box open. Alright, I want to just test something. Grab this, the controller, shift select that, shift select that, shift select that, press E. Nice, 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 nice. Next, down here, grab this controller, shift select corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select this corresponding bone. Oops, not that. Parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select this corresponding bone. Parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select this corresponding bone. Parent constraint, add. I'm going to grab this controller for spine 3, grab its corresponding bone, spine joint 3, parent constraint, add. I'm going to start from here. This, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding bone, parent constraint, add. Did I do this here? Yeah. Blue. Joint is blue. Good. Did I do this? Yes, I did. Good. Let me just test it out. Grabbing the controllers from the outside in. Check. Test it out. Outside in. Check. Test this out. This controller. Check. Alright. This one. Check. This one. Check. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, so that's what, 17 minutes? Alright, so this bone, no color, means no work is done. Let me check this one. Good. Alright, so same thing. So grab the controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, corresponding parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its corresponding spine joint, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, grab its bone, parent constraint, add. Check. Then you got all this blah 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 blah. So as you can see, the controller should not have any of these red stuff, the constraint icons. Only the bones and constraints, bones and constraints, bones and constraints, bones and constraints, blah 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 blah. Next. Where the hell was I? Blue means constraint. No constraint. No blue on the joints means no constraint. Zoom in. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Next. This controller, this bone, parent constraint, add. Next. This controller, this bone, parent constraint, add. This controller, this bone, parent constraint, what the hell? No. Parent constraint, add. This controller, this bone, parent constraint, add. This controller, this bone, parent constraint, add. Down here, I'm gonna hide the grid, zoom in, just double check. No color. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Now here, so this right here, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab the controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Almost done. Good. Grab the controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select the bone, parent constraint, add. This COG, this root, okay, so the root joint, no color means no constraints. This COG, I should name it O. COG. Shift select its root joint, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Grab this controller, shift select its bone, parent constraint, add. Alright. So this is what it should typically look like. Close this, save this as complete. Turn on the mesh, Alt and B as in Bob. B as in Bob. So all that hard work, I'm gonna lock the bones. It's not done yet, but I just want to show what's happening. I'm gonna grab, like say this, and then spine. Yeah. So just the spine. Oh hell yeah, see? Huh? Huh? Hey, hey, hush, hush, Type in 0, bam. See, this is why all the controllers have to be cleared out. This is why, because when you do things like, I don't know, say you grab these 4 and then turn, and then let's see, you grab like this and like this, this, and do that, something like that. See, when that looks bad. Yeah. See, even all of this, you just gotta grab all the controllers, make sure your bones are locked out, right? And even though all the controls are selected, and even though this looks all zeroed out, you go back into the rotate, type in 0, and now the rig is back to default. This is why it's so important to understand the channel box in relation to the center of the world, in relation to these being cleared out. So almost done. That'll be the end of this tutorial. Obviously this is pretty close to getting close to finalization. Just gotta do the last part, the global controls and the scaling properties. Yeah. So anyway, that's the end of this tutorial. Bye.